so much of water. It can stand all the hardy conditions. It doesn't need pesticides. It doesn't need insecticides. And you can still have good growth, good productivity. So even for a farmer who's poor, who cannot give these inputs, still it can bring revenue to the farmer. And globally, we all know it's the time population may be increasing, water resources going down, land resources going down, and it's going to be the warming climate. And these millets can withstand all that. So it's good for the individual, it's good for the farmer, it's good for globally for the environment. So why not go ahead with it? Am I right? Now there are different kind of millets. Millets, they in Haryana, since Haryana side, northern side, we are all familiar with the names of Jawar, Bajra, Ragi, right? But there are, places like in the south, when you see over here in the diagram, there are, down below you would see different names, which we may not be familiar with, kutki and things like this. They are also millets, they are consumed there because you see millets like we have, in some climates, in some regions, some crops grow more. Same way for the millets, they also have regional variations. So then you will see here total millets, but we'll talk more of the millets which are available this side. Now, it's easy to say millets are good, but I'm sure you are also convinced with the scientific knowledge how millets are good and what science has done within the past 3-4 years to even do every nutrient evaluation of different millet and how whatever has been the staple food in terms of wheat and rice, how millet is better than that. Please just see the chart on the here in front of you. When you are seeing the darker color of green, it shows how nutritionally it is better than wheat. Just see that. And when you see that is white, it shows it is lesser. And light green shows it is lesser but marginally lesser in terms of nutrient composition. Just have a look and just have a look at the fiber content. We all know fiber is very, very useful for us, for our bodies, in terms of even getting rid or preventing non-communicable diseases, especially the soluble fiber. It is not easy to get it from the usual food sources we are consuming. When you have a look at the millets, you see the soluble fiber. It is so much better than the fiber of the wheat comparatively. That is also a very plus point of millets. And I'm sure everybody doesn't want to go through, these datas. We like to take out the inferences from the data for the use in our common life. So if you look at just have a look at this table. If you look at not soluble and insoluble, and if you look at the total fiber content and on the content of fiber in the wheat, if the ratio is 9:1, for any food item, if the ratio of the total carbohydrate content to the fiber content, if it is less or 9:1, then it is very fine for the body. If it increases, that means toxins will be developed and there are risks of other non-communicable diseases in it. Just have a look. And the wheat, if you see, it is totally 64, if you see roughly. And then when the total dietary fiber is 11, that means 6:1, fine. But if you look at the rice, see the ratio. It is coming somewhere about 39. That is 2 and this is 78. So where is the fiber you are getting from it? And fiber is very, very important for the body, which will take up every nutrient one by one also. Millets, millets efficacy compared to other cereals, and I think then you will know it still much better. We'll take up everything. Now we go to, if you see it, now we are going, we put it in a nutshell, I would say that millets are better than the rest of the cereals. In terms of proteins, proteins are better, fats are better, carbohydrates are better, then minerals and vitamins are also better in terms of their nutritional values. Absorption, assimilation, I'll take up separately. And then so many people say, they keep on talking, gluten-free foods we want. It's become a very big commercial thing also, gluten-free foods. Millets have no gluten. So that is another added advantage of taking millets, those who have celiac problems or gastrointestinal problems, where may not be extreme kind of celiac problem, but when they have less of enzymes, then also you see other cereals react, we know. So then that is the time millets can come to the rescue. Now I said we'll take up one by one also every nutrient for you to have the conviction for consuming millets and spreading the message that please consume millets. Now we all know proteins are made up, proteins are very important. The general name proteins we all know. Proteins are very good for growth and development of the body right from the time baby is within the womb till we are elderly and we have the last moments. Proteins we need throughout. But is proteins just one? What do you mean by protein? Protein are built up of different components that is called amino acids. You must have heard the name of amino acids. And best is when we have all the 9 amino acids in a particular food, because till all the 9 are together, please understand it, till all the 9 amino acids are together, the cell development or the replacement of cells or the cell signaling, there are so many functions cells are performing all the time in the body, it doesn't happen. So the next question is, what are the kind of amino acids the millets have vis-a-vis other foods? Do they have all the amino acids, or do they have the important amino acids for them to function, to perform the right functions for the body? Just see, you will see on the top all the names of all the 9 amino acids. Millets have 3 very good, very important, they have 8. To put it in a nutshell, millets have 8 essential amino acids. One is missing. Now one is missing, what do we do? That we'll talk. But till that 9th one is also there, millets will also not be able to perform their full functions for the body. I think this information is very essential for us and for us to spread it further, how to use the millets in the right form, right way. Now here in the millets, you see one methionine, which is, methionine is present, which is a sulfur containing amino acid, which performs very useful functions of having, giving antioxidants to the body. We'll talk of what is antioxidants and why they are important. All foods do not give us antioxidants. Antioxidants is, in a nutshell, remove oxygen, which is nascent, which is the trouble causing oxygen electron to the body. This methionine will give. Besides that, I'll not repeat the cells, the replenishment of cells, production of new cells, all that will happen with every protein. But there are some specialized functions of certain amino acids. Now the other thing is for skin, for ligaments, tendons, we've been heard the ligament is giving the pain. Well, look for the food which has methionine. Not only, you see, we have to go a step further because science has gone a step further for our health. And the other sulfur containing amino acid, which I do not know how many of us know, is the name cysteine. which is not an essential amino acid, but I am mentioning it because I myself have experienced by the time you have 50, 55, oh, what is happening? I'm having pain in the leg, I'm having pain in the arm, I am not able to use my body fully because skeletal muscle health, this cysteine is responsible, which millets have, which is even though non-essential, semi-essential amino acid, but which is present there. So those people, I would say, those people are coming in the hospital with orthopedic problems, saying pains here and there. Perhaps doctors with the nutritionists have to be careful that they advise millets so that skeletal health improves better with exercise and this kind of a diet. Then we go to this, millets also have tryptophan. Now tryptophan, we have people, you see, who are now working in the call centers. They are, sometimes they are sleeping the whole night, sometimes they are sleeping the whole day, depending on the shifts. So they need to have the proper sleep-awake cycle, and tryptophan is very, very useful for that. And besides this, tryptophan is also, giving rise to good, hormones that's responsible for hormones and also for DNA. So many times we say, well, genetic problems are happening. Perhaps, you see, there are mutations which happen where DNA can also change. So it's not that we are born with this particular type of a DNA and which always will last. We can have different mutations also in the body. Of course, these are separate lectures. We can take care of it later on. Then besides this, there is something that is called leucine. Another amino acid, leucine, which is specially present in this, which is not present in other. You may say, oh, we've taken the proteins, and then why bother? No, please go further to the amino acid level. This leucine, third amino acid, which is very, very important for the body, even for the skeletal health. This is present in millets. If in 100 grams it is about 1.5, in milk it is just 0.5. You will see the values there. Even it's present in nuts and meat products, but how many people can go in for nuts and other kind of things? Maybe millets will be much cheaper for the common man. So when it comes to the good skeletal health, go in for millets because leucine is present there. It is not there in the milk products. It is very little present in pulses. Even if you are maybe eating, your pulses, still this part of the health will get restricted. Then the other thing which now we come to millets, the amino acid which millet is not having. That is only one, that is lysine. Now lysine is also very important for the body, but millets don't have it. What to do? You must have heard millets. I took millets, I took bajra roti, I took jwar roti. I'm feeling very heavy. This is a very common statement I have heard. Because you see, even though these millets are rich in vitamins and minerals, but that's just one part of the whole story. Till it is absorbed by the body, till it is assimilated by the body, that means till it becomes a part of you. There's no point. Let it be there, but let it be a part of your body. But what helps? This lysine amino acid helps in the absorption of minerals and vitamins. Now, where is it? What do? We want to eat millets for the other benefits, but we need to supplement it. We need to supplement it with some food which has lysine amino acid, which can help, which can support, which can assist in the absorption of the minerals, which are in such high quantity present in the millets. So best is have millets combined with pulses. Pulses are very rich in lysine. They are not rich in the other amino acids like three, which millets are rich, like in methionine, tryptophan, and the other leucine. So when you have a combination of millets with pulses, it makes it complete protein. The other thing which science has recently evolved the concept. See, we always said supplementation fine, but that means have bajra roti and we must have the dal also. Now my farmer goes to the field, makes this roti. How to have the pulse? In the village, he can't carry that pulse. So lot of science, lot of research happened on it, and finally the creditable part of the research is which they have come out in our journals, latest journals, that during the 3 meals, if you have eaten millet in one meal, and if in the second or third meal also you have taken a pulse or the other food source, which you will see as in the dairy and legumes and nuts it is, then also it makes it as a complete protein for the benefit to the body. So it's not that in the same meal you need to have all the amino acids. It can be split over the day. Then also they will combine to give you complete protein. And the ratio can be 3:1. Millet can be 3 parts and the pulse can be 1 part. Then also it becomes a complete protein. I think this message needs to go further down to the people for them to have the proper utilization of the millets. Now we've talked of the proteins, I'll go to the fats. Let us understand fats are also very essential for the body. And the type of fat which your body need, we have saturated fats, we have unsaturated fats, all kind of fats, and every fat has its own function. Saturated are, as we all know, are solid at the room temperature, and unsaturated are liquid. Now these millets have unsaturated fats to the percentage of 65%. Tell me any food which is a staple food which would have this percentage of unsaturated fat. No. And with that, it has N3 fatty acids. We are all looking for, okay, let's have walnuts. It has N3 fatty acids. Let's go to the fish oil, which has N3 fatty acid, because these are essential fatty acids. Our body cannot make it. We have to have it from the food. But from which foods? N3 also has very, very limited sources. Now science says, well, your millet, your staple food, it is good in N3 fatty acids. It will help you out so much. It has unsaturated fats. It will take care of your LDL. It will take care of ABCD, insulin sensitivity, insulin resistance, all that which unsaturated fats do. But along with that, when it has N3 fatty acids, which is very good for the skin, and perhaps it will motivate you still further in terms of N3 fatty acids for the skin health, because these days, after the research, the cosmetics, your cosmetics for the skin, they are using this N3 fatty acids. They are incorporating that, which means a lot of spending of money, but millets are pretty cheap. Along with the skin health, it also, you see, takes care of different hormones which our body needs for different body functions. So we've talked of the proteins, we've talked of the fats. Now, I think the very important part, which is the fiber. Now, as we saw in the table, these millets have very high percentage of soluble fiber. Now, how is this soluble fiber is useful to us? Now, it mixes with water when we have taken the food. It goes till the stomach, and this soluble fiber, food along with this millet fiber, which is soluble, it stays in the stomach for a long time. What does that mean? When it will stay in the stomach for a long time and reach the small intestine where it is finally digested, staying in the stomach for a long time means the metabolism is delayed of the starch. That means glucose production will be delayed, absorption will be delayed. Indirectly, what is it doing? It is helping the people for diabetics, who are diabetics. or who are having, you see, tendency, who are pre-diabetic. If the glucose, if the starch metabolism and glucose absorption is delayed, that means the PP glucose, what you say, it will be lower. Excursions will not be there. Am I clear on it? Otherwise, what the usual pattern of glucose is, after you have eaten food, it immediately goes up. Then it falls down. But with the millet consumption, since the digestion and absorption is slow and gradual, because the final metabolism is going to happen in the small intestine, it is reaching late, so it is taking more time in the stomach. So after eating, your digestion metabolism is slow of the carbohydrates, and it is helping in the insulin sensitivity, in avoiding the glucose excursion. The other thing is this fiber, it gets, the cholesterol, the fat, that also gets, glued to the food in the stomach. Cholesterol is lowered. That is how it protects you from CVD, from hypertension, from high cholesterol. See, from where we started? We started with the fiber, then soluble fiber, then the digestion of that soluble fiber. A part of it is also insoluble fiber, that also happens. You see, over there also, this is also giving us fullness, the fiber in the stomach. So you have higher satiety value, your food intake slows down. That is what is needed for the diabetics. We keep on saying the salad cow, this cow, that cow, but salad may not have all those additional benefits which millets will have. And same with this insoluble fiber, it will reach the intestine, it will have mass, along with the water, it will, not let you have the constipation. It will have fecal mass. And also because it is there, the volume has increased, again satiety comes, again it helps the diabetics and everybody. People who are obese, they should eat less. Instead of putting them, I have been associated with VLCC, but still I would say 90% of our input used to be diet. Because this is what will play the major role. Machines, activity, and activity patterns, of course. So if millets are there, which are giving you all these benefits, which in terms of having your proper weight also, what more are you looking for? Because this will avoid you with all kind of medical problems. See, fiber, we talked of soluble and insoluble fiber. Now this is something very interesting. Carbohydrates may get digested, proteins also, fats also. But fiber is coarse, 100% of it doesn't get digested. That we all know. Some part of it goes and becomes fecal mass. Some part of it does not get digested. You must have heard the name of resistant starch. We are opening the websites to look at the foods which are good for resistant starch. Resistant starch is starch that has been resisted during the metabolic pathway and has not been digested. This is the English word itself says resistant starch. Now the fiber, and most of it is soluble fiber, part of it is insoluble also. It will reach your large intestine, where it is called resistant starch, and it acts as a prebiotic. We keep on buying probiotics, and we are also, having those medicines with prebiotics. Now here this fiber is going to act as a prebiotic. That means it acts there as a food for those good bacteria which are there in the large intestine. It is all a game of good bacteria. Bacteria with the name good that your body has, microbiota, that is to a very large extent responsible for your good health. Let's remember that. Even in the foreign countries, when you have these cesarean deliveries, what they have started doing, from the mother, there is a way, they take, this good microbiota and put it on the face and on the body of the newborn, because this microbiota, and the science has proved they are that important. Now this soluble fiber, which is acting as a prebiotic, which is acting as resistant starch that is there in the large intestine, feeding your good bacteria. So the growth of good bacteria also is multiplied. And the other thing is, which please understand, it also metabolizes there in the large intestine with those good bacteria and gives short chain fatty acids. Fatty acids can be medium chain, large chain, and short chain fatty acid. Now, coconut oil, you all talk of coconut oil because it has short chain fatty acids. But these short chain fatty acids, which develop within your body out of the metabolism, they are much far superior. They do much far superior functions compared to if you ingest the short chain fatty acid. And now you have fractional distillation of coconut oil in the terms of short chain fatty acid, which people keep on asking me, give me the labels. We want to take it because one thing, the short chain fatty acid don't need any metabolism. They will go to the liver first and they go to the portal circulation and they are used as fuel. They can even cross the blood-brain barrier. You've heard of those things, sometimes people with CBD problem, they have these blackouts for a second. Why? Because glucose is not there for the brain functioning. Suppose you are taking these foods on a daily basis, in a natural way as a staple food, the short chain fatty acids are getting released. They are crossing your blood-brain barrier, and they're always there as an alternative for glucose. So where would be that scenario of dark, which you get? Because this will immediately come, the short chain fatty acid, and act as a fuel in the absence of glucose. And then besides that, the short chain fatty acids, they also help in giving calcium, vitamin K. It also helps in giving you more of insulin sensitivity, reduces the insulin resistance, and it acts as a barrier. It acts as a barrier in the colon so that no impurities can enter and no in the blood. It makes that whole membrane that savvy. So this is how you see, you starting from the this thing soluble fiber, you reach short chain fatty acids, and it helps saving even your lives. We've talked of the major macronutrients. Now I did say that minerals are very rich. Minerals are very rich in millets, and if you look at the data there are some millets which are rich in calcium, some rich are in phosphorus, some in iron. Same way, we've taken wheat as the baseline. Dark green says this and this because millet is a generic term. Who should use what? Who needs what at what stage? So the scientists have done even identification of different nutrients in the millets. So dark green says better than the wheat. Light green says marginally different, and white says lower. You can have a look if you need these data because they are not really available even on the websites. Since I am in touch with ICMR and WHO, I could get those. If you need those, you could ask here, and I think these could be useful for you. Yes, as I said, availability of nutrients is one part, but its absorption and assimilation is still more important. So work has happened even to the extent that which millet should be used how? By storing, by grinding, by fermenting, by cooking, and how? Because you see, as we all know, they are hardy grains and the cell wall is very thick. If this cell wall can be softened, perhaps the availability of different nutrients will be much easier. We are all busy people. Everybody has their own set of work. If you know exactly how to go ahead with which millet, maybe task will be easier. So all this data is also there. Now why we really need, as I spoke the word antioxidant in the beginning, that millets are pretty rich in antioxidants. Now, and we are all, we all are eating, having our daily lifestyles. Food has to be metabolized. Now, during the metabolism, food passes through hundred of different functions. Some enzymes will come and work, some hormones will come and work. So much is happening. And when so much is happening, during these metabolic processes, some molecules will be broken down by different enzymes, by different hormones, by different mineral vitamins, whatever is the function of each nutrient. But unfortunately, some during the process, molecules get divided and come into atoms, and atoms have their own, if you look over there, they will have their atomic structure, and some of them during the metabolic pathways will have free electrons. Can you see over there? Free electron. Now this free electron, everybody wants to live, nobody wants to live in isolation. Now this free electron says, well, I also want my wife or husband, I want to live as a couple. So it attacks, some other molecule, give me your partner. I want to be together. Now this one has fought with somebody, but with whosoever it has fought, that has become free. Now what happens, this whole process goes on, the free electrons keep on getting produced here and there. Same way there is dust outside, there is pollution, there are UV rays, strong UV rays, lifestyles are different, smoke is there, tobacco is there. All these things are producing free electrons. A stage comes, these free electrons become so many, then they start putting pressure on the body. And this is called, if you read the newspaper, journal or somewhere, oxidative stress. And this oxidative stress gives rise to various medical problems, right from diabetes, right from A to Z. What do we need to do? Either we need to have inside our processes like that, because millets, as I spoke just now, some of the amino acids will give antioxidants. If those antioxidants are enough to take care of these free electrons by giving their electron, to some extent, this process is salvaged. But otherwise, what we need to do, we'll have to have from outside. And if we don't have, then this free electrons collecting together will give rise to various medical problems. Since millets are rich in antioxidants, they help us to take care of these free electrons. I know I may be having many doctors here. They can say, well, these antioxidants, there is so much market here of the supplements, which is under the name nutraceuticals, which is prescribed to ABCD. I have only one question, nothing against that. But as we have studies on the foods which have these antioxidants, which do not have, which have phenolic compounds, which have ABCD, which can take care of these antioxidants, and to what extent you need to eat these. Like 30 to 40 grams of millet a day is enough. Supplementation we have also talked. But have there been any studies on these nutraceuticals, on these supplements of antioxidants, that to what extent, in what disease you need to take them? No, not so far. I do not know. When the research happens, when the data is there, that so much of nutraceutical of this type, in this health status you can take, I have no objection. But so many cases are there, you can read in the journals as case studies, that taking of nutraceuticals, how they have backfired. So I would say, let's not go in for the supplementation as far as possible. Let's have diet. Let's have the proper diet which can take care of this oxidative stress. As so far minerals and vitamins are concerned, you may say, though nobody has said so far, I do not know if it comes in the questions, that we are taking so many of minerals and vitamins also. But as far as minerals, vitamins are concerned, enough data is there, enough research has been done that how much you need to take. And beyond that, you see, you have these serum tests. In these serum tests, you know what you are deficient in and how much you can take a particular vitamin or a mineral, because research has defined the toxicity of various minerals and vitamins. Now, after this, I would say, let's go into you might have heard the name of adenopectin that has come even as a standard test to know when we go in for the intervention of our treatments. It is used now as a biomarker. It has been legalized that how much is the efficacy of your intervention or your treatment. Now, what is this adenopectin? Now, this adenopectin is a hormone that is secreted by the fat cells of the body. Now, this acts as a preventive care because it signals the immune cells to take their action. The more the fat cells in the body, the higher the percentage of your fat in the body when you do the body composition, lower is the adenopectin. So we need to have the right fat percentage also, which millets will help us. When we have everything, when we have all the macro, micro, phenolic, everything proper in the millets, so they can take care of the body and maybe the right body composition. And then we have the right adenopectin level, and then the immunity is built up for the body. Now we can go it as, we can just consolidate the talk by saying the different health benefit in terms of gastro. You can go through it because you see, we are always wanting the body should be in the alkaline and neutral pH. These are alkaline pH. So acidity is also avoided with the consumption of millets. That means a lot of gastrointestinal problems. Then diabetes, of course, we've talked, CVD, celiac disease because of the presence of absence of gluten. That, of course, because of the different polyphenols, that is the hormones which these cells have, which benefit the body. Cancer is also avoided because of the short chain fatty acid. Cancer is avoided of the colon. Then calcium, osteoporosis, anemia because of the iron presence, we all know it. Because of the soluble fiber, we have this acting as a prebiotic. We can ferment these millets. That is where they act as a probiotic also. We don't need to buy them the probiotics. Immunity, of course, we have talked. And of course, they have, because of the presence of magnesium, it helps in avoiding blood clotting. It helps in smooth flow of the blood, and heart arrhythmias also it avoids, and that is how asthma and migraine is also avoided. Now, migraine, as so far millets are concerned, we've talked they are of good nutrition, so it is good for all the age groups, right from I would say right from the pregnant lady. So she gives birth to a healthy child till we age, so we don't have these pains and aches here and there, and our skeletal muscle strength is also taken care. Now there are so many type of millets. Scientists have worked on this also, in what condition of the body which millets will be more useful. You can go through the charts, it's there. The whole scientific data has been put over there, right from obesity, diabetes, heart disease. All the millets are helping these. Anti-aging, cancer, gallstones. Now for the hair loss, pearl millet. Reduction of joint and knee pain, kodo. You see, you can go through it. The charts are there, which are a consolidation of the scientific work of various scientists from ICMR, NIN, WHO. And various scientific creditable societies have also taken in work. All the data has been consolidated together from NCBI also. You can just go through that. And I will say, lastly, now we've talked, millets are very good. The last thing comes how to use it. So a lot of work as the science has come out with. It is best, in a nutshell, I will put it, to soak them, to germinate them, to ferment them, discard the water in which you have soaked, rinse it very properly, heat it for the right time, store it properly. I have been hearing here also, we must buy everything fresh. No 5 kgs bag, only 1 kg bag, right? Because it will get something like, it will lose the nutrition or it will not taste good. So there is only one parameter to see that it tastes good. You don't have to keep on buying 1 kg every time. Store it in a airtight container. And when you see, like on the flax seeds, you buy the flax seeds, you roast them, you grind them. But you see, when supposing there is a bottle of this bigger bottle and half is empty, then you have to change the flax seeds bottle so that there is no air, because air will oxidize in flax seeds. Right? This is the thumb rule. Or you have to store it in the fridge. Same way for this. Supposing you have bought 5 kg, just take out 1 kg and see and put the rest in the airtight bin. Once you have used that what was outside, then you please take it out from the stored bin which is airtight, small amounts. I think this will be very important to go to the rural areas, because they cannot go on, every time buying half a kg and 1 kg. Rest, you see, a lot of work has been done. It has been compiled by me, but in one presentation, I cannot share everything. For every individual millet, what would be the storing procedure, what would be the soaking, what will be the cooking, what temperature, all the details are there. Anybody interested can have access from me by making a request. I think you will tell the process how we go about it. And thank you very much for giving me a patient listening.